Hi. Our lesson today is geometry and it's going to talk about angles of polygons. Before starting with this topic, I have to warm you up and remind you what is the meaning of polygon. Polygon is a closed shape. It can be in any shape but closed. This is a polygon. It is a closed shape. But let me ask you, can we consider it as a polygon? No, because it's an open. Can we consider this a polygon? Also no. Why? Even if it's closed, must be closed by a segment. A straight line, not a curve. Okay? Is this a polygon? Also no, because polygon has no intersecting sides. So you understand what is polygon. Polygon is any closed shape. Let's go to the next one. Now, what is the smallest polygon in the world? It cannot be one side, it cannot be two sides, it must be three sides. And this side, we call it a three sides polygon is triangle. And we have 6 types of triangle. Just to remind you, according to sides, we have 3 sides are different measure. We call scaling. 2 sides are equal, we call it isosceles, and 3 sides are equal, we call it equilateral. According to angles, if the 3 angles are acute, we call it acute triangle. If one of the angles is obtuse, we call it obtuse triangle. And this is, we call it right angle triangle. Suppose we have a triangle in this form, 2 sides are equal and right, we call it isosceles right triangle. That's the way we call the triangles. Like we go now to quadrilateral. Now, we come to the 4 sides polygon. The 4 sides polygon, we call it quadrilateral. And we have 6 types famous in the world. The first one is a square, where the square opposite sides are parallel and equal, and the angles are equal, 90 degrees. This one, we call it rectangle. The opposite sides are parallel and equal, the opposite sides are parallel and equal, and the angles are 90 degrees. We call this type rhombus, 4 sides. The opposite sides are equal and parallel, the opposite sides are equal and parallel. This one, parallelogram, the opposite sides are equal and parallel, the opposite sides are equal and parallel. Kite, we have 2 sides are equal, other 2 sides are also equal. In trapezoid, we have only 2 sides are parallel. I want to remind you something. If we cross any vertex, so the second vertex, we call this line diagonal. This is a diagonal. This is a diagonal. This is a diagonal. This is a diagonal. This all, please remember this word diagonal. Diagonal is the line which passes from vertex to vertex inside the polygon. This is a diagonal. This is a diagonal. Okay, let's go now to say third polygon, please. Okay, now next polygon will be of 5 sides. This is a polygon of 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We call it pentagon. 6 sides, we call it hexagon. 7 sides, we call it heptagon. 8 sides, we call it octagon. 9 sides, we call it nonagon. And the last 11 sides, 10 sides, we call it decagon. Now, our warm-up will continue in this way. I have to remind you about a polygon when it is concave and if it is convex. When you remember I told you about the diagonal. You see the diagonal here is this part. This is the diagonal of inside the polygon. This is the diagonal inside the polygon. But once, if you start from here and you want to connect to another vertex on the polygon, you see the diagonal is outside the polygon. So once the parts of the diagonal is at the exterior part of the polygon, then we call it a concave. And once all inside, we call it convex. There's a very important note. There's a word called regular polygon. Regular polygon means all the sides of the polygon, whether it is triangle, quadrilateral, whatever it is. Once the sides are equal, the polygon is always convex. It cannot be concave. Once it is regular, we go to the last part of the wall. Okay, now I'm going to remind you how to evaluate some algebraic expressions which you are going to use it in angles of polygons. For example, evaluate when this term n minus 4 into 12 when n equals 6. So if n equals 6 minus 4 times 12, so 6 minus 4 is 2 into 12 will give me 24. If n equals 6 here, 6 minus 3 into 90 will give me 270. I think it's okay for you. To solve an expression with one variable, so 12a plus 4a is 16a, plus 9a is 25a, then if it is equal to 100, divide by 25, then a equal 4. I just want to warn you and remind you how to solve such expressions. Now we go to angles of polygons.